Kaelin Vex stepped off the bus at 6:47 a.m. on the outskirts of Ashwood, the fog-shrouded streets a perfect imitation of her hometown's inescapable gloom. She had been away for nearly 5 years, working as an administrator in the urban sprawl's distant edges. The air reeked of saltwater and wet earth as she walked towards her parents' old house. Kaelin had never been one to cling to nostalgia. Ashwood's history was a heavy anchor she'd shed when leaving for college. However, her mother, Axa, remained, an unyielding presence that bound Kaelin to the town with invisible strings. Axa stood by the kitchen sink as Kaelin entered, her eyes locked onto some unseen point beyond their conversation. "You're home now," she said finally, without inflection or emotion. The old house still had its familiar creaks and groans, but something felt off, like a missing note in a melody that used to be recognizable. As Kaelin hung her jacket on the coat hook, a faint scratching noise caught her attention from the adjacent room. She found Axa sitting at the dining table, surrounded by stacks of dusty files and papers. The air was thick with an almost imperceptible scent, like someone had been burning incense without lighting it. "What's all this?" Kaelin asked, trying to inject curiosity into her tone. Axa handed Kaelin a folder with her name on it. "Just some local news and updates," she said blandly. The documents inside were filled with trivial information, school board meetings, town council agendas, and minor community events. But amidst the mundane announcements, one entry caught Kaelin's eye. The Ashwood School Board will be reviewing its attendance policies in response to a reported increase in absenteeism among students. Below it was a note that read simply, "Initiated by the Education Committee on March 14th. Axa watched her reaction with an intensity that made Kaelin uneasy. The scratching noise had stopped. Instead, she could sense the sound of silence thickening around them, like the air itself was absorbing every other noise. "You should really take a look at those files," Axa said, gesturing towards the stacks on the table. "It's all about improving things." As Kaelin hesitated, her mother's expression remained frozen in place, an unsettling, calculated calmness that suggested she knew something Axa refused to share. The fog outside seemed to seep into their kitchen, shrouding the room in a damp, oppressive atmosphere. A new presence was quietly taking hold in Ashwood, one that didn't rely on terror or chaos but rather a patient manipulation of the town's routines and norms. And Kaelin, now back home, felt herself being drawn into this insidious transformation, like an invisible thread was slowly knotting itself around her ankles, pulling her deeper into Axa's mysterious world.